To a 1 versus 1. I haven't done one of these in a while. Sort of the lower ranking in the realm, by which I mean not the Collins and the gods of the Planetary Annihilation world, or galaxy, whichever you prefer to call it. Now, we have this game between Ghostflux and Xefor. I'm going to jump straight in here and get myself spawned while they choose theirs on this rather small, what should have been a tropical planet. Although, best plans of mice and men, etc., etc., maybe we were hoping for a bit more water than a couple of puddles here and there. Lip-a-do-do-do, Xefor, please hurry up and choose your spawn. Much appreciated. Here we go to B. I could probably do all of this in free cam mode, and I plan to, so it depends really on where the players have spawned, but all the same, we'll see what actually happens. Maybe he's just taking a while to load in, so until he does, I'll cut the recording here. Split second after I said I'd cut the recording, he loaded in and clicked his ready button. So, I'm going to detonate my commander here, zoom out so that we can see where the spawns are. Not too far apart, I mean they do look sort of antipodes of each other. So we have Ghostflux in purple by the North Pole-ish area. Excuse me. Although I seem to have lost the North letter, interesting enough. Maybe it's actually inside the planet. Oh no, that's just a metal spot. Anyways, so Ghostflux is up here by the North Pole going for mechs, so typical opening build. He's chosen a spot with a lot of mechs in the region, considering the size of the planet. Now, going round to Xefor's spawn, he's also chosen one with quite a bit of mechs in the region for expansions. Is also going for a typical opening build, and I will take advantage of this right now, and while we see that Xefor is going for a bot factory straight off the bat, I am going to go straight into free cam mode there. And we do appear to be playing on what appears to be a trademark term now of a potato planet. And I'm going to zoom all the way up here somewhere, and with any luck, there we are, find Ghostflux's base. But because of the geography of the planet, it is a little difficult to see what exactly is going on. Now we see Ghostflux also opening with a bot factory, so because of the size of the planet, both these players probably going to get some fabricators out, followed by some early scampers to try and do some early harassment and raiding. Well, obviously Ghostflux is going for, oh hello, excuse me, a scamper first by the look of it, so definitely we're going to see some early aggressive play here from Ghostflux. Zooming back down and around to Xefor's spawn, with any luck, or if I just passed it. There it is. Just need to still get my bearings a little bit before doing this. He's going for some fabricators instead and an air factory, so maybe we'll see some early bombing raids going in here from Xefor. But more fabricators going to be produced, and they're beginning to assist on the mech, so that's going to get those up pretty quickly and boost that early economy that is so desperately needed. The commander getting the extra build speed on the air factory rather than letting a fabricator do the hard, slow work. So we'll probably see either some scouts or some bumblebees coming out from this air factory right here. Momentarily, and bang, there goes a fabricator. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. Zooming back up to Ghostflux's spawn base, you name it. He's gone for an energy storage. So obviously he needs that early energy, and/or he's learnt from previous experiences to the point that he's integrated it into his build, and can therefore maintain an economy for a greater length of time, all of which will be good in the greater scheme of things. Now, I did think we saw a scamper earlier. I'm not sure where it went. Let me just zoom out and see where exactly this thing is. Oh, it's here guarding the little back choke here between this crevasse and this mountain to try and just give him the heads up on anything that might try and come in from this region here. But back at Xefor's base, we also see now lots of fabricators, more defences going up now actually. We have a air defence turret this time. I do need to adjust the screen region of my recording software because it's just cutting off the names just a little bit at the bottom there. I'll do that for my next recording, but now we see Xefor going for a vehicle factory. Now this is something I wouldn't necessarily recommend, especially in an early game stage. You see how Xefor's gone for one of each factory. It might be better to sort of go for one or two, maybe devote one to scouting and the other to getting that harassment follow-up on the scout. So for instance, you could use the Bumblebee or Air Factory Firefly for a scout and then follow up with scampers, but I wouldn't recommend going vehicles and bots in the early game unless you absolutely have to, and considering that neither of these players have intel on each other, I definitely wouldn't recommend it. But we'll see what happens there. You see Ghostflux also getting an Air Factory now. Lots of fabricators wandering around his base. I think most people tend to go for bot fabricators now more than anything else. But continuing scouting here from a hummingbird from Xefor, just in the surrounding area. You should probably always check the opposite side of the planet first. It's always what I do, and then check the big metal spots. But usually on the way to the opposite side I try and integrate a big metal spot so I don't just go through an empty patch, because no one's going to spawn in an empty patch, because, well, it makes no sense. Now here we see Xefor's strategy beginning to show itself and appear through another vehicle factory. So we'll probably see some ants coming out here, maybe a few spinners, but I was in TeamSpeak with them just before we organised this. And Xefor was on about how he got beaten by an ant spam in the early game of a recent one he played, so I can only assume that he's trying and counter that by equaling it. Back up here to Ghostflux's base now, we see more, actually no, vehicle factories coming out now as well, so more ants from both sides. Over here, bot fabricators on a continual build queue, a couple laying idle. You really want to get those wandering around claiming mechs as soon as you possibly can. Like this one over here, they could be assisting it and really getting that up rapidly indeed. Hummingbirds beginning to be produced, probably going to use those for scouting. More energy storage from Ghostflux, and I believe that's going to be a scamper beginning to be produced, so we'll probably see a repeat build queue of scampers going around there. And did I just hear a shot? I think Ghostflux might have just been scouted. Few fabricators wandering down here. Where could they be going? Probably to this mechs region over here to go and try and help claim some of that. And what do we got? We've got some fighting going on somewhere. In fact, it was a Bumblebee that looked like it tried to do some damage to that radar, which this hummingbird took out quite efficiently now. Other than that, at this point of the game, we can see that the econ of Ghostflux is just continuing to grow with energy on energy on energy, mechs on mechs on mechs, all sorts of stuff going on there. Quickly popping myself back down to Xefor's base now, who's also beginning to expand to more mech sites now. Groups of 3, usually 3 is the best optimum for stacking on mech sites because of the rapid nature of the build and the economic efficiency. It's definitely what I do. I've seen other people do it, so it seems to be the sort of norm at the moment. NTA going up all around Xefor's base as well as continual economy. I think Ghostflux might just about be in a stronger position, especially given that energy storage he has. But definitely some ant movement beginning here now, and a firefly as well. So I have to see where these ants go, splitting up a little bit. Was that their intention, or was that a little bit of Pathfinder? We'll have to see, but they are closing in on Ghostflux's undefended flank down here with these 5 mexes and 2 factories. They are beginning to produce ants, but are they going to go the right way, or are they going to go to the wrong end for defense? We'll see, but these ants over here are moving. They are definitely moving and creeping around. Maybe they're going over here to try and take out this expansion that Ghostflux is putting up to get these mechs with a turret here. So that's going to defend against any light assault raids. But because of its placement, there's the second one. Okay, I was going to say, if they just left it at that one, then ants could come in here, take out 2 mexes, possibly even 3, and be home in time for tea before actually taking any losses. Let's have a look at where those ants have actually started moving. They've just sort of clumped up here, probably waiting for a few more to come out of the factories before actually going on the offensive now. But the base is beginning to grow, and what's this over here? We have some scampers raiding from Ghostflux, taking out a few bits of mechs. Ants answer them and say, you know, don't you play knock-knock jokes on us. Except the ants got the knock-knock jokes back in their face, so trying to turn that against them wasn't the best idea. It sort of came back and bit him a little bit there. Losing an ant for a scamper trade isn't the most favourable, but given the economy in this game, it's not a huge issue. But in this early stage of the game, that ant really wants to be starting to attack, but no, it's going to move straight into the fire. Is it going to survive? No, it's not. That's unfortunate. Both those scampers go down, but now it's clear where the undefended regions are from Ghostflux's point of view, although it is probably about time that Xefor actually starts to defend those regions. Ghostflux getting mechs up on all sides now, and defense on each of these in addition. Can also just continual ant production now, and scamper production as well. So we can begin to assume that a lot is going on, and here is Xefor's push here, where I suggested taking out these mechs. So he's saying, you know, you raid me, I'm going to raid you back, and I'm going to do some big damage with these 5 ants. Ghostflux does have a defensive force here, but it's not going to get there in time to save those mechs. 3 go down, and these 5 ants are now going to get completely intercepted and annihilated. There goes another one, and Ghostflux only taking scamper losses and a little bit of health damage on that ant right there. So I think the economic damage there isn't too great, because at this point Ghostflux probably has a ridiculously positive economy given the amount of mechs and the lack of factories he has. So Xefor really wants to try and answer that and do something about it, but these ants here could really do to group up with some more that are being produced in his base and come in for a bigger offensive. But maybe he might want to consider a transition to air units at this time, because Ghostflux definitely doesn't have much anti-air defense. But all of the air fabricators just trying to put up point defense left, right and center. I think detecting a little bit of overproduction on the part of Xefor, because 2 fabs assisting that energy could possibly be going up a little bit faster than that. And this fabricator should definitely be building faster than this. Look at that, that's incredibly slow. The fabricator, I believe he might have just about managed to get his economy back on track, but that is very slow. At least it appears to be for me. More factories going up now from Xefor. Is this wise? We shall have to see. Back in Ghostflux's base, defense is there with this mechs expansion. And a sideways factory, ladies and gentlemen. What a new sort of architecture is this? 2 sideways factories. Okay, Ghostflux, what are you doing? You know gravity doesn't work like that. Interesting indeed. Oh, hello. There's some more attacking going on. Xefor really bringing in the large number of ants now. Taking down this little defensive force here. Can Ghostflux get his defensive force that seems to be scattered around to this in time before it really does massive damage to these factories that Ghostflux is now answering to his economy, because he did have a massively positive economy, needed more factories, but now these factories are going to go down, so he's not going to get that production he wanted. He does have the anti-air defense now, I noticed. I saw a lot of hummingbirds parked on the floor, so maybe Xefor's transition to air, which I suggested, is definitely not the right way to go. Lots of hummingbirds running around just to scout. You don't want them to land. And these ants really want to move in now and take out those factories, because, well, you never know what sideways factories can pull out of the hat, apart from being sideways. Ants taking down scamper defences, or docks, but docks. And now we see Ghostflux's ants moving in as well. Xefor really wants to retreat rather than losing these ants, but it's too late. They are going to get taken out. Ghostflux is going to successfully defend at a loss of 2 factories and 2 mechs, plus a few scampers as well. These sideways factories now beginning to produce ants. Let's definitely see how these come off the production line. Not ants, sorry, they're bot factories. They'll be producing scampers. And we have quicksand. And a scamper that's been produced inside. I would probably abandon those factories if it was me. And another ant assault offensive coming in from Xefor now. A group of 8 ants. How much damage can they do? There is a point defense turret going up, so maybe it might be time to start transitioning to advanced units, shellers, or maybe beginning to get a cheeky pelter creep going in. But that many ants is not going to stand a chance against 2 turrets. No way, Jose. The turret does have to rotate in order to attack first, though. But we've also got the defences here. This offensive does not stand a chance. Walking into the jaws of death right now. And that was a waste of a large force, which could be paired up to make an even larger force from Xefor. But now lots of turrets, lots of walls. That is definitely not the right way to go. Lots of factories being produced all over the shop now from Xefor, who's appears to be beginning to get his economy on track. We have a few bombers going up here. What sort of damage will they do? And that is a large ant force from Ghostflux. Bombers don't want to try and intercept because ants are still a good force against bumblebees, especially given the movement speed and the projectile speeds. But now the economy is going to start getting attacked by Ghostflux. Those air factories producing in the distance, I just love the animation on those. More bumblebees coming out in groups of 3. They really don't want to try and intercept these ants, but they're going to try to. They're going to get sniped before they get there. What are you thinking, Xefor? Well, I guess 1 ant died, but 2 ants, but 2 ants for 3 bumblebees? Nope. Sorry. I'm not happy with that, but now these ants are beginning to move in. Let me just zoom out a little bit to just have a quick check to see if there's any other offensives going on from Xefor. No, he has all of these ants going around in regional places, but none of them really appear to be doing much. And here come the ants as Ghostflux expands to the mech sites that they leave behind in their wake. In they come, more bumblebees desperately trying to do damage and get produced in time. Over here, lots of fabricators producing turrets all at once. Turrets spaced around in the base is pretty darn good. It's going to give sort of gradual defense for these ants. But you really want to have a sort of Hindenburg line, as it were, that they have to cross before getting into your base, preferably, because look at all of this mechs that has now been lost. Good 6 mech sites, 7, 8. And a few before that as well, plus energy. Ghostflux did lose that force, but at what cost? That's a lot of mechs gone down, but it appears as though Xefor can handle it, because look at all of these fabricators producing that in good time. I'm going to make that Hindenburg line. Do it now, please. Bumblebee fleet coming in now. I wonder what these are going to do. Maybe just sit here and defend. They really want to go out and try and raid some of this because it's all relatively undefended, especially against air units. But Ghostflux definitely now getting a lot of production going, a lot of units, all sorts of stuff, and even transitioning to advanced bots with an advanced energy going up in the distance and more advanced fabricators being produced as we speak. 2 already up and producing that energy. And over here we have another attack. We have a few scampers just saying hello to Ghostflux's mechs expansion. Why move them away? There's a turret ages away. You can take out all of these mechs without even beginning to put a toe into its range. But these factories here really want to try and do something about it, because Ghostflux may have overextended his reach at this stage. But back here, the scampers, no, are deciding to go into Ghostflux's base. This is not the right idea. You could have taken out all of that mechs, but instead the units go and die. And what were those ants talking about? They were just shooting into the distance for no apparent reason. But as I say, we've got these advanced fabricators going up, we've got advanced econ going up in all sorts of corners. We have attacks over here from Xefor now, moving in with the ants, taking out a couple of things, not really doing significant damage yet, but Ghostflux has expanded to the point that little harassment like this isn't anything more than a little itch on the bridge of your nose, because it's easy to repel, easy to repair, and easy to counterattack as well. But here comes another one. You see, it's the itch. The itch returns, and bumblebees as well. But they meet Ghostflux's hummingbird horde. More ants coming in now. They don't want to get caught out by the crevasse. One does allow them to group a little bit better though. So are these going to get in and actually do some damage this time? Potentially so. A bumblebee over here. But they are meeting more and more ants as they come in. This really isn't the right thing to do. The bumblebee just floating over the top, majestically saying, "Ha-ha, look at what I can do," and not actually dropping many bombs. So pretty much wherever we go now, we have base of some form or another. We have sort of attacking going on everywhere, so I think at this point free cam mode isn't the best option. We have this offensive here coming in from Ghostflux with a few ants, and up here we have Xefor making another offensive at this Hindenburg line, point 2. Definitely not enough considering the walls are up. You want to retreat, you want to keep an eye on that, maybe put in some shellers, take out the turrets, and then move in. But Ghostflux is really hunkered down a little bit now. These ants around here trying to do some damage, not doing enough by any stretch of the imagination. Lots of defense, lots of bumblebees. No, they're hummingbirds, my mistake. But they're just going to wander around, just sort of scout the perimeter. But Ghostflux putting up some proxy factories now, or more proxy factories if you will, in that they are closer to Xefor's base, so reducing that movement speed. But a lot of ants are all around the map now. If they all group together, that will be a force to be reckoned with. Beginning to make a push in here now. But Xefor's commander is out of harm's way at the moment. He's sort of sitting over here not doing anything. I mean, if we just look at the mech sites that aren't claimed at the moment, there's not actually all that many that aren't claimed. So most of the planet has been harvested. There's quite a few in the water around there. So maybe if he can get some going up there, or maybe do some attacking to this Ghostflux over here, he can maybe pull something out of the hat. But at this stage, it appears as though Ghostflux has got the upper hand, especially in terms of production and defense. But in comes Xefor again, with a few ants, going to try and make a move in here, but the turret deals some significant damage. The scampers needn't worry about it because there's the commander up there, there's all sorts of stuff, and the ants are gone. These scampers now, these ants here, this is a huge number of ants from Ghostflux, beginning to conglomerate in one spot here. They're going to meet some scampers before they manage to, taking a couple of losses perhaps, but per another hap, it looks as though they're actually, there's one, there's two, there's 3 losses. But now here comes the horde, all moving together now. This, I think, might be the end. We're going to go into free cam mode as this huge number of ants moves in, combined with scampers. Taking out factories, taking out mechs, waltzing around turrets. All hell appears to be breaking loose now. Zoom out a little bit to see the real damage that's being done here. This game right now appears to be in Ghostflux's hands. Bumblebee's going to wander in, they're going to get sniped before they get anywhere. There's definitely not enough bumblebees there, especially going in one by one to deal any damage. They're just going to get sniped before they can do any significant damage to this ant force now, which is sort of moving on the wrong side to where the commander is. I believe the commander was over here somewhere or something. There he is. You've got Xefor going a little forced to defend, but you've got all sorts of attacks from Ghostflux going all over the shop. Really moving into the heart of Xefor's base now. Gonna see this advanced bot factory and take it down, or at least attempt to. The bumblebee's now beginning to really do some damage. That slow moving bumblebee is a bloomin' badass, taking out 3 ants in one pass. Beautifully done. And that attack force has been repelled quite brilliantly there. We have got more attacks sort of going on over here. We've got Xefor trying to counterattack now, dealing a little bit of damage to Zephor's expanded mech sites, mech locations, but not really enough. Because Ghostflux has got, don't forget, all of this going for him right now. He's got a lot of production values. And we've got projectiles flying left, right and centre. It appears... Excuse me, that's the zoom in. It doesn't like me doing it for some reason. Xefor pushing in with another bunch of ants over here. Bumblebees are not going to get the pass, but they're going to do some damage, especially before the ants actually get past this choke point, which is very small indeed, and actually start to make their way in. Whereabouts is Ghostflux's commander? He's definitely not in the near vicinity, so he's a little bit safe. This Hindenburg line here of all of these walls, wall spam there from Ghostflux. Maybe he was planning to build some towers there, because it doesn't. It looks like it was a good choke point to defend, but in the end it was defending the wrong choke point. And these ants now beginning to push in. They are going to find these scampers, and the scampers are going to try and attack. Bumblebee's taking out 4 ants. He's an even more badass Bumblebee. It's just going to float over that one. My word. We've got badass bumblebees left, right and centre. But that attack has been significantly repelled. These sideways factories still producing sideways scampers and quicksand scampers. We've got shooting going on over here, I think I heard. Yes, Xefor going now to attack in here with these 2 ants, maybe doing a little bit of recon work as well. But they are going to get intercepted by these scampers, and considering the geography and curvature of the planet, the scamper has the advantage over the ant. That scamper taking no damage, strangely enough. Zoom out again until we find some more action to zoom in on. More ants, and now we see some slammers, I believe, moving across with the ants now. Gonna try and say, oi, I'm going to push in again, you know, because I can, and because I want to. So in he wanders, with all of these ants. These slammers as well, really doing significant damage. Following up with some ants, so the slammers taking the hits. They really wanted to be grouped in with the ants so that the ants didn't suffer too many losses from those turrets. But now we do have another slammer, we have another bunch of ants down here, we are going to have conflict here. This is definitely going to be interesting indeed. We've got all sorts of modalities of warfare. Definitely at the moment appears these 2 players are tied in their production, because Xefor is defending furiously, and any of Ghostflux's attacks is gradually making progress, taking out mechs, but nothing too substantial at this point, if I'm honest. And now we see Ghostflux with all of these advanced factories. Whoops, that was the zoom in button, producing all of those. Over here we have another offensive. Ghostflux trying to do some damage with this slammer. Beautifully moving around there. 4 of them, in fact. All they need to do is move in a little bit more, and they will start to hit the heart of Xefor's base. Bumblebees getting shot out of the sky over here. And single file, not the best idea. Using the debris as cover is all you can really do at that stage. Zooming out again, more slammers over here, beginning to move in now. They're going to see these ants, they're going to want to start sidestepping, because otherwise they are going to all get lost by these ants, and indeed they do. Down they go. Slammers did manage to stop that advanced factory from being produced, however, so that is an advantage there. And what do we see here? We see some tactical nuclear, not tactical nuclear, tactical heavy ballistic missiles called the catapult being produced now. How medieval for such a futuristic game, but I find that rather poetic, if I'm honest. So let's not grief the catapult. But this defensive force really trying to defend this whole peninsula, really, because that's all he has, these factories and this force now. Ghostflux, all he really needs to do is start attacking from a couple of sides at once, and this force here from Xefor is quite a substantial force. Just needs to avoid this Hindenburg line, maybe skirt around the side, around through this choke point again, as he's doing with another force. If he manages to get in with these two as well, doing a bit of damage, that's interesting that they got in so far. They got taken out as well. I missed that, but a follow-up force from all of these sort of different regions. Bumblebee's getting shot at. They see this another offensive coming in now. So they really want to try and sort that out as soon as possible, because Ghostflux's commander, where is he? He's wandering over here. He's running away a little bit, I think. But to a much lighter defended region. And over here it appears as though there was a fight between Xefor and Ghostflux, to which Ghostflux appears to be the victor there because of the slammer aid now with 5 slammers. Bumblebee's coming in. Oh, they could really have done some damage there. And that was the catapult completed. Where was that catapult? I must have a look. Indeed, there was that catapult there. Has been completed. It'll now probably start shelling, although I doubt it's in range. It doesn't look as though it is, but you also want some radar going up, because I don't actually see much radar from either player at the moment. We have advanced point defense, but Slammer's moving towards it, so we'll have to see what happens here. Advanced Fabricator's going to try and put up a point defense. No, it gets taken out. That advanced point defense is going to take down those Slammers. No trouble at all. Great placement, I guess. But they are going to do a bit more damage than Xefor probably would have liked. And now here comes Ghostflux's follow-up force. Beautiful. At the same time that Xefor is pushing in from the back, it's going to look like it might be a base trade, moving in through the walls there. So we'll just have to keep an eye on this to see what's going on, where, when, and why. What's in there? Did I see some red? Yes, I did. That's interesting. That'll be where the north letter is. Right in there. Interesting. But here is Ghostflux's attack force. The commander is away at the moment, but it's not going to be too long before Xefor's economy starts to struggle a little bit, especially if Ghostflux continues with the attacks of this magnitude. But in they come now. Going to take out this advanced factory that is producing advanced fabricators, or at least do some damage to it. Interesting. Something in the later builds I've seen is that units don't tend to like attacking factories unless you tell them to, which is definitely strange. But again, alpha is alpha, etc, etc, etc. A follow-up assault from Ghostflux of similar magnitude is coming in now. Let's see how far Xefor managed to get in. Fair way, taking out a reasonable swathe of factories there. Most of the advanced ones are now gone, apart from the proxy ones over here. Appears as though Xefor sort of migrated his base as he's expanded and taken territory. Not Xefor, sorry, Ghostflux. Another tactical missile beginning to be produced there. Catapult's really got good range here, taking out ants. And here, this is interesting, this pincer movement here from Ghostflux. Completely accidental by the look of it, but Xefor really got the disadvantage in terms of the unit placement there. Shouldn't be too long now before we start to see Ghostflux really do some massive damage. And that was an interesting ricochet from the catapult. Ghostflux now taking the expansion. Taking the South Pole. We're going to need to do damage in here. And what is this? What is this? 2 nuclear missiles from Xefor. He really wants to defend these massively and stop Ghostflux from seeing them. He's going to want to defend that with all his might, because that is his focus right now. He wants all of those bots assisting, ideally. It doesn't look as though they are actually doing it. But if he can get both of those nukes trained on the commander, Ghostflux is gone. But Ghostflux has got this huge force coming in now. He doesn't want that nuke to be seen. He wants that nuke safe and sound. The first one is there. If he can just pop that up, because Ghostflux does not have any anti-nuke defenses at this point. Xefor massively damaging swathes of Ghostflux's base at this point. Or at least his original base. So all of his energy economy has gone down. He's having to build it as he goes. Over here, where is his commander? What is he doing? Let's frantically try and find Ghostflux's commander. He's over here. He's not too endangered. Excuse me, it really depends on whether Xefor decides to move down with this force here and follow this line of energy. But Ghostflux is going to try and defend it. We've got tactical missile catapults coming in. Xefor's defense seems to be holding at this point. He really wants to be focusing everything on these nukes. This could really be the game winner right now. Ghostflux really wants to get some scouting going on because there hasn't actually been any air scouting of the bases going on. So for all Xefor knows, Ghostflux is doing a similar thing. So both players at this point of the game probably want to be building some anti-nukes, but no, they are not going up. The commander is going to sit in a massively endangered position, especially with ants moving in. He wants to move and run away, especially if a nuke is... a nuke can be trained on the commander, and the commander only needs a little bit of damage from a force of ants like this, and the nuke will actually kill the commander. It only takes 2 nukes as long as the commander is on pretty darn full health. That is, I think, between 95% and 100% of his HP. But those ants are actually going to get taken down, and the commander is going to remain hidden. Very lucky there for Ghostflux. And good defense as well. This nuke really wants to be done very soon indeed. We've got bumblebees trying to do sorts of things, and slammers moving in now. They're going to meet these advanced turrets. They're not going to see the nukes just yet, but he really wants to be putting up some more advanced turrets. There's only one that's actually finished there. Ants here going to try and take out these slammers that are going to be microed around there by Ghostflux. Beautifully done, but more level 1 scampers are going to be used to tackle slammers. Not the best idea, if I'm honest, but bumblebees can definitely take down a slammer. I don't think slammers can target air. Indeed they can't. That's going to get taken down by 3 bumblebees. Beautiful tag team. Not too long before the nuke's produced. Really want assisting, and he really wants to have that assisting and get that finished, because if I'm honest, given the expansion that Ghostflux has done, it might just about be Xefor's last hope, but it did manage to take out all of this in the base, so I wouldn't be too sure. But certainly it does appear that way. No anti-nuke defense going up at all anywhere. So here we just have lots and lots of factories. A nuke right here will take out this entire region. I'm sorry, I'm just waiting for the nuke to be launched. Not too far from being completed now either. Hindenburg line remains silent. Nothing really has tried to attack it. Ghostflux moving ants to the back of his base to defend his flank, which is good movement there. What we can see here is just ants everywhere. Moving those all together will produce a significant clump of ants. Maybe he's just waiting for some more slammers as well, and then pressing in. But it's at this point we really want to see Xefor's nukes being launched, because he doesn't seem to be producing all that many units at this point. He seems to maybe have been devoting everything to those nukes. Here we see slammers beginning to move in. How much damage will they actually manage to do? Bumblebees really want to move in and take out these slammers, or at least these ants need to move down, that they are doing. These factories are going to go down pretty darn quickly, as are the slammers as well now. So that force is gone, but it did take out 2 factories there. We've got econ buildings going up right in front of Xefor's front lines. Interesting placement, but he does have that defense there. I know that Ghostflux doesn't really like nukes very much, so he'll probably try and refrain from using them. This whole force of slammers and stuff now going to move around and meet a reasonable defensive line. Excuse me. I'm getting up some point defense. How effective is this actually going to be? But the commander is over here as well. Maybe the commander can come down, and here is a nuke. Here is a nuke. No, well, it took out all of those advanced factories. Well done there. But where's the other one going to go? But now he does reveal that he does have nukes. The commander is going to want to remain hidden at this point. Ghostflux is very close to the commander. How close is he to finishing that second nuke? Quite a way off. I doubt we'll see the second nuke launcher just managed to catch that. I'm glad I did. Took out a lot of factories there rather than going for the commander, especially considering the sustained assault from Ghostflux and lack of scouting from Xefor and Ghostflux as well. But neither player has really done very much middle to late game scouting. The only thing we can really see is the occasional bit of radar going up, and here's a little bit of bumblebee scouting, seeing where the tactical missile launchers are. So maybe he's going to train the next nuke around here if he actually manages to get it finished. But I wouldn't be surprised if Ghostflux now starts to get up some anti-nuke defense around his commander. That's what I would do. If a nuke has been fired, it's like testing an atomic bomb. It's big news, and everyone should tremble with fear. Because the age of projectile weaponry has long since passed, the age of atomic bombs is nigh. Bumblebee's trying to do what they can now against this horde of ants pressing in. Not really going to do much. There's not a substantial enough number of bumblebees. They'll take out a couple here and there, but not really going to be good enough. Commander dashing down here, seeing what he can do. Another nuke is ready. Interesting indeed. Maybe there was a third nuke launcher that I haven't seen. Or they just had everyone producing them. Oh, there goes another nuke there. Where's he going to launch it? He's going to launch it there. Taking out... so much collateral damage. No! That's not the right place for a nuke. It was right here. Take out these advanced factories. Take out these factories. Ghostflux can't attack you if he doesn't have factories. Where's the next nuke gonna go? Fire it now. Do it. Fire it now. You know you want it. There it goes. There it goes. Where's it gonna go? Looks like it's going for the factories now, or the tactical missile launchers. Indeed it is. Probably right in the middle of this energy field right here to get the maximum number, or just about where my mouse pointer is. There it is. Right there. Taking out all of those factories. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Taking out the tactical missile launchers as well. Brilliantly done. Absolutely beautiful. But at this point we still have all of these ants moving around. We still have all of the forces moving around as well. Where's the next nuke? It's getting produced fast-ish. He's not going to be producing two at once now. I don't think he can support it because he's taken out all of his own economy for some reason. Scamper's now pressing into the undefended extended recon, apart from this one advanced point defense turret and these two up here. But all of this energy and mechs can go. It's not going to be too long now before it does. I'm honestly surprised that no, the commander has been sniped at this point. There's another nuke being produced, my word. Xefor's really going nuke heavy. He really wants to defend these as well as he can. I mean, he's putting up some turrets going around. But it doesn't look substantial enough, if I'm honest, especially if there's a massive assault of ants coming in, maybe from around here, sweeping around this little hole, taking out there and through. But as long as the commander meets it there, then the commander will die first, so that is neither here nor there. Still no nuke defense from Ghostflux. What are you thinking, sir? You've had 3 nukes attack you already, and yet you still refuse. Although at this point, looking at it, Ghostflux's econ isn't actually in the best of shapes. I mean, he does have all of this advanced metal extraction here, but he doesn't actually have all that much energy. He has these 3, and the odd... Oh no, he has those 3 as well, so his energy is going to be okay. He's got ants moving around everywhere. He's beginning to rebuild and recuperate. Vehicle fabricators here now too. We'll probably start to see some advanced vehicles, levelers and shellers. Not too long now. You really want levelers against advanced point defense because of that range they have. But here comes another nuke. It is produced. When is it going to be fired and where? Find that commander, sir. Find it. Use your bumblebees right now. Have a bombing run on a commander and then fire your nuke towards it, because don't forget, it's not about killing off your opponent's base, it's about sniping your commander, and he is over here on the front lines. I'm disappointed. And there goes the nuke over here, taking out the econ. I missed that, I'm afraid. But it did take out the econ. How much damage are these going to be able to do now? They're moving towards the nuke. How much defense is actually going to work here? He really wants to divert all of these to this point defense. It's not going to get built in time if he doesn't do it. Although he does appear to have econ available to complete both of those nukes in such a manner that he's doing now. It's not going to work. In come some scampers. Desperately trying to hold back against the nukes, because I think at this point Ghostflux realises where the nuke launchers actually are. So we have point defense there, 3 advanced point defense, 4, in fact, almost 6. But he really wants to just push out it this way. You save both of those nukes now and just scout and find the commander, because he's obviously, even with his nuke launchers here, he's lost all of this. So obviously his passive-aggressive defense isn't really working very well. So he really wants to get sniping at this point, especially with the scouting. He wants to scout this region here, he wants to find this commander. Is he going to do it in time? I doubt it, because the ants are going to the wrong place, they're going to get intercepted, they're going to get killed. He needs to use these bumblebees to better effect, especially considering they're sitting there idle. Maybe produce some fireflies. You know, just a group of 3 fireflies hardly takes any time to build at all and can be invaluable in scouting. Absolutely invaluable. All of the assisting on this one nuke now. Anti-air defences, point defences. Now let's check up here to see if we are actually getting some advanced vehicles going around. Indeed, no, we actually have some pelters going around, but Bumblebee's going to try and do a significant amount of damage there. A little bit of damage, so this pelter could have been shooting over here, attacking this mechs. In comes the Bumblebee, not doing a huge amount of damage either. Slammer's sitting here, he wants to find the commander. Do it now, please. Because these ants are now going to come in. How much more can this defensive line take? I think the ants are going to sit just outside the range, but I do definitely think they have vision on these nuke launchers now from Ghostflux. Ghostflux's perspective, that is. How much more damage can the nukes actually do? I don't think too much, if I'm honest. This game is starting to drag on a little bit. Ghostflux sweeping round. He doesn't want to go in straight because he meets all 4 simultaneously. Instead, he might want to sweep up and around and down. That way he's meeting one on one after the other, after the other, after the other. There's a nuke finished here. Nuke finished. Where's it going to go? Here it comes. Is it going towards the commander? No, it's not. It's going towards the vehicle factories. Still no nuclear defense. Right about here, please. Right about here. There it is. All of those vehicle factories are done. Ghostflux's ant assault forces are now going to start dwindling, but he is starting to reproduce them up here. Is he getting any nuke defense? No, he's not. Get some nuke defense, Ghostflux, please. Please. All it's going to take now are these ants to wander over here, see the commander, the next nuke to be finished, and then your commander's going to be finished if he's not caught out in the open regardless, because you don't have all that much attack force now. These ants are going to wander back, try and protect the commander desperately. Desperately, desperately, desperately. There's the vision on the commander. He now knows where the commander is. There's the commander with all of these factories. The commander now wants to retreat and hide. Uber charge on his own factory, doing no damage whatsoever. Oops, I think is the word for that. But definitely now, the nukes know where they need to go. They need to get produced now, please. And then this game can be over. And I think Ghostflux realises his commander has been spotted. He's going to try and get him out of harm's way. He's going to leg him up here into these mountains. Very much stalemate at the moment, but the nukes could change everything. Econ getting attacked here by these ants from Xefor. I think earlier when I said that Ghostflux had it, I definitely spoke too soon there. Because, well, Xefor's managed to turn this around with the nukes. As dubious a tactic as nukes actually are in a one-on-one game on a tiny planet, they work. They make a big boom and make everything else go boom. So, you know, that's what nukes are for. And they do their job perfectly. Unless there's an anti-nuke, which Ghostflux doesn't have! I'm sorry, I'm getting really rather frustrated because of the lack of anti-nukes now. And oh my word, Ghostflux attacking here with a lot of ants. The commander is way away. So that's not in any danger. The nuke's almost finished. I wonder whether he's going to try and attack this. Really, I wouldn't advise it. I'd advise getting up a lot more point defense around here. At least to defend some econ. This nuke's almost finished. As is this one over here. It really needs to be started to be assisted because you've got so many fabricators here not doing anything. Ghostflux hiding his commander here desperately. Will these ants actually find it? Oh my word, could these ants find that commander? I wonder whether they've just... Vision probably just about to here, so no. They won't be seeing that commander just yet. That's... wow. Here comes the nuke. In fact, maybe the vision was there. I think the vision was there, in fact. Indeed! There's a nuke on the commander. Only one nuke remains. Get it producing. Get your dudes assisting that nuke now. You can kill the commander now. Because he's sitting there, he's not moving. Get assisting it. You can finish. Finish him. Fatality. But the commander's just sitting there. Ghostflux, I think at this point maybe of beginning to think about conceding the game. But he just needs to get anti-nukes. Ugh. Oh my word. Come on, sir. I know you don't like nukes being fired against you, but at least defend against them. At least defend against them. Just, you know, it's all you can do. Ants beginning to move in. Maybe going to try and take out the rest of the commander before, but they're just going to waltz into the fire of the commander, not doing enough damage by a long shot. He's just going to sit there, sentry as it were. These slammers and ants now going to make a final push towards these nukes. Seeing how much damage they can do. They're actually coming in on the non-defended side. My word, Xefor, get that nuke finished, please. Assist it. Assist it now. Otherwise you are going to die. Your nukes are going to get destroyed if you do not start assisting it. Please. He's moving his fabricators somewhere. Come on. What are you doing? Do something with your fabricators. Get producing. These just need to move across and there's only 2 anti-air stations defending it now. Build some defenses! Ah! Commander running away desperately. Yeah, it's going the wrong way. You want to watch what you're doing. The bumblebee trying to come in. It's going to get shot down over the base somewhere. Surely. Surely, surely, surely. Coming in for a second pass, it gets sniped, but it does do a little bit of damage, but... it's going to be a close one. Get some point defense. Please. My word, I'm starting to panic now. This game's going on for long enough at a stalemate. I honestly thought Xefor might have just managed to clinch it with those nukes, but he hasn't. And he's repaired his commander. He's repaired his commander. Damage from the nukes is gone, and the ants are going the wrong way! The ants are going the wrong way! Are they going to try and find the nuke, or are they going to try and find the commander? Where is Xefor's commander, by the way? I actually do not know. Here he is, he's by the nukes. Oh my word, if only the ants came this way. Oh my word. Oh my word, come on, please, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's about time this game was over. Unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. Econ is going to be damaged. Assisting is not going to be viable. 2 nuke production is not going to be viable either. This game is going on for a phenomenal amount of time. I think I will probably have split it into 2 parts by now. Probably watching the second part. Might even have put it into 3 because this is really quite ridiculous. I think the tides might have turned back in Ghostflux's favour, especially considering the Econ doesn't appear to be doing too well from Xefor, and the commander was repaired. Ah, no, here comes the next nuke. You should have been assisting this one while you had the chance, Xefor. Really, honestly, should have been doing that. That way, you might have actually killed the commander when you had the chance. But he's just going to be sitting here now with all of these turrets. No, he's not. He's going to be moving. Interesting. Oh, he's going to put up some radar. At this point, it's sort of... Oh. Yes! There it is! There's the anti-nuke! Thank you, Ghostflux. Taken you long enough. Taken you long enough to build that. Oh my word. Please. Get that nuke launched over there now. Before the anti-nuke is finished, and that'll be the biggest troll ever. You want an anti-nuke? Nuked. But unfortunately, the anti-nuke is going to be there. Is it going to start producing anti-nukes? We shall have to see. We've got all sorts being produced from all over now. Again, from Ghostflux, who's managed to expand all over again. Not enough factory production going on, but Slammer's pressing in now. Trying to avoid the turrets. It's not working. Most of them get taken out. Once we'll press down here to these factories. Here comes a nuke. Is it going to take out the anti-nuke? Is it? 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 That's going to be the most hilarious thing ever. Oh my word! Ghostflux has been denied his anti-nuke by a nuke. That's hilarious. That's hilarity at its finest. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh my word. Commander's going to run up back to his hiding spot now. He's going to be met by an ant who's going to get that vision. These guys are almost finished assisting building this nuke. Is the commander going to die right here, right now? There aren't any fabricators really that are around to assist apart from this clump here, so I think that's maybe what he's moving his commander to. Hopefully he won't get there. As far as Xefor is concerned, but Ghostflux needs to leg it and not stop legging it. He wants to get on his bike and run, or backpedal massively, shall we say, if we're using a bike analogy right now. Ant's going to press up the rear. Bumblebee's going to wander around as well. Another nuke almost going to be finished. Ghostflux probably at this point going to get getting really frustrated. Here come the fabricators, going to repair the commander. Unless the nuke is fired in the next 10 seconds, that commander is going to survive. Oh, it's going to be so close, and unfortunately the commander is going to get repaired. But the nuke is there. The slammers are coming in over here, gradually taking out factories. But I think at this point, Xefor is just relying on these nukes. Come on, fire that nuke at the commander over here. He just needs to get the intel Actually, what he might want to do is actually save until he has 2 nukes and fire them both at the same time. I think that's probably the best thing he can do right now. But he's not assisting! He needs to assist! Ah! Stop giving Ghostflux time! And Ghostflux start building anti-nukes. You saw what happened to the last one. You need to build them now. You really need to build them now. That is now, as in now, except you're not. So, unfortunately, no anti-nukes are going to get built. Here comes another nuke, and it's going to take out this whole econ region. Energy is gone. Energy is gone. Ghostflux now is going to have a significantly impaired economy. That's actually quite a good nuke placement, if I'm honest. Rather than taking out the commander, stopping him from doing anything is also a good idea. Means he won't really be able to repair his commander at any great speed. All he has now is this small energy field over here, and that's not pretty big at all. That's still working fine. That's still going up reasonably rapidly. How long is it going to be before... Oh, come on. Please. Assist! Where's the commander going? What's he doing? Is he gonna maybe claim more mechs? Let's have a look at the mechs points if we control an N. Is it gonna work? Nope. Okay. My mechs highlight key decides to have failed me. No! No, I say. No. I think this game has now been going for a ridiculous amount of time. Let's just check in ChronoCam. Maybe that's not the best idea, but ChronoCam doesn't actually seem to be working anyway. What a shame, what a shame, what a shame. I'm down there with my pointer. It's not really showing the game time. Maybe something for future patches, maybe a little game timer so that we can actually see how long we've been going for. The commander going to sit here, running out in the open. I wonder whether he's going to try and just Rambo comet now. He's definitely starting to get all sorts of defense going. Oh my word. Come on, come on, come on, come on, please. Do something, ladies. Please. As much as this was an interesting game at the start, it was a bit of give and take. It's now a little bit of cat and mouse, a little bit of and a little bit of I'm not actually going to be killing you in the most efficient way. And that frustrates me a little bit. We need these nukes now. Ants and scampers going to be moving in here, doing a little bit of damage. Down go some turrets. Bumblebee taking out those ants before they can do much damage. Scampers doing gradual damage over there. No nukes being launched yet. More ants over here from Xefor just sitting idle. Move them around. Take out this advanced factory that's sitting here. Maybe go back and claim all of this metal. I mean, Ghostflux had all of this. All of this. And it's no more. He's not building any anti-nukes because he can't. He doesn't have any advanced fabricators really at the moment. Well, he does now. He has those 2 there. Come on, finish this game, please. What I think I'll do now is I'll cut the recording and just record the interesting bits. So it'll be a little bit of snapshots now more than anything. Alrighty. It's possible we will see a nuke launch any minute. So I've just got the camera trained and ready. Trained and ready. To see what we can see. Here it comes. Where's it going? Is it going on the commander? Please say yes now. Please. Indeed it is. It's going for the commander. Is it? No, it's not. No, it's not. No. 'Cause Sigh. Actually see the end. We've got a commander moving in here on turrets. Taking a little bit of damage. No, we definitely won't see the end of the game there. That was my bad. I overestimated the number of ants that were in that globule. And we don't have a nuke to follow it up. So we won't be seeing the end of the game anytime soon. The commander's going to retreat into his base. Or back up against a mountain. But we are beginning to see some advanced things being produced now. We've got scampers being produced. All sorts from Ghostflux now. Gradually beginning to rebuild. Gradually. Xefor, how can you let him do this? Nice back door there, Ghostflux. But you've now got your scampers doing absolutely nothing.
God, Commander, do something.
Actually, my engineers don't want to the other nuke. No, now they will.
They have to be close enough with nukes. They have to be like right next to it in order to assist nukes. Whoop! Oh.
Why are you letting this go on like this?
Oh. If you haven't repaired your commander, Ghostflux, this is checkmate. Good game.
Boing.
About time. Oh my god, I was so tired of this match.
Oh, it's over.
It's over.
Who won?
You did, you muppet.
Well,
Oh,
what
it's over.
who won?
I did. So did I either one? I think I nuked you. Did I nuke you? I don't know.
I don't know either, and I'm not going to check.
Yeah, Xefor, you nuked the commander. He wasn't on full health, so the nuke smashed it. You have to have your commander on 90% health or 95% health or greater in order to survive a nuke.
Oh my god, I'm so glad it's over.
Me too. Oh my word.
That was horrible.